know I don't want you, want you. You bad and you know it, don't you? You bad and you know it, don't you? She always say, boy, you know I don't want you, want you. You bad and you know it, don't you? Now you single.
Hey guys, this is LB, and you're listening to Love, Sex, and Lies. Tonight, my guests are Brandi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brandi.
And Marty.
LB, what's happening?
All right. So tonight's topic is cheating. I'm excited about this topic. But at the same time, I think about this topic, I think, it's one of those topics that people are scared to talk about, don't talk about, nervous about talking about. It's one of those things that you want to kind of just sweep under the rug, whether you were the one getting cheated on or you did the cheating. But here at Love, Sex, and Lies, no topic is off limits.
Right.
So let's talk.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to ask you guys, this is what I want to know. Does cheating mean the same thing to both men and women? Or do you believe, in your opinion, experience, do we view it differently? Or you think it's kind of the same?
I think men view it differently. Way more differently than women. I think for women, and you know what, it's not every woman, because some women can be dealing with someone that maybe you're dating and you just haven't established that you're in a monogamous relationship with, but you still won't step outside of that. Mm-hmm. And for guys, I mean, sometimes even marriage is not a boundary. Mm-hmm. So just definitely somebody you're just dating, if you went and hit the ex or the baby's mother, which happens often, they don't even look at that the same.
It's cheating. What do you think for men?
Interesting, Brandi would say that. A lot of times, really, what boils down to with men, a lot of times what we really think is that we can have emotional attachment to, our girlfriends at home or our wives at home, and at the end of the day, this is just a physical act. So it's kind of like, okay, I love my wife or my significant other, mm-hmm. but I'm just fucking you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to get a nut and I'm going to keep it moving from there. So I think one of the big misconceptions between men and women is that, our dicks aren't connected to our hearts, where your vaginas are connected to your heart.
I think
and that's a misconception.
It is
probably.
A misconception. I agree because, mm-hmm. I think, I've never cheated on anyone, but I can say that I've been able to, have a sexual relationship with a man and not catch feelings. And for years with the same man.
Well,
and only that man.
Okay, so that being said, right, when do people start really catching feelings? Cheating or not, is it,
I think it depends on what you want out of it anyway.
Okay.
So if it's just sex, then you get that. Yeah. It's just what that is. But whether we're cheating or not cheating, is that's different. Uh-huh. So do you believe that if you are in a relationship, married or committed, do you believe that if someone that you're dating, your partner, goes off to work or anywhere and have an emotional attraction, emotional relationship, not just attraction, emotional relationship with someone other than you, is that considered cheating?
No.
So emotional attachment isn't considered cheating to you? You don't care that they go and share their emotions, their deepest thoughts, their inner everything, and come home and give you blah.
Well, I wouldn't classify it as cheating. I don't know what I would call it. Mm-hmm. Betrayal maybe, or just,
That's a strong word. Golly.
No, I mean, because especially I think when you're married, and I know that emotional connection is something that is very sacred.
Yep.
So it's going to be strong emotions behind it if I feel like you violated that.
Right.
But maybe not on the same level as cheating.
Right.
And I don't know why I say that, but I mean I know from both sides, from my own personal experience, sure. It's a deep feeling that's connected to if this person has done that to you, but it's not the same.
Right. I don't know that. I agree.
I think. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No.
Well, I think one of the main things is that we live in an age of duality, and what I mean by that is that we're different things to different people, mm-hmm. and we get different things from different people. So
Absolutely.
Even being in a relationship, I may share some things, or I may have a different relationship with my significant other. Like we was on our way down here, and she met somebody that knows me or knows of me. I don't know this person, and the person like, they go, old Marty, but in reality, that person don't know me.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they may go off of a story that they heard from somebody else, and then you put social media in the mix and all that, and they done created this story in their mind of who I am, and in reality, it's like, okay, here's somebody that wakes up with me every day. So, and what we tend to do as people is that when we get vulnerable, you know, our antennas go up, and it's like, okay, what you telling me about this person? And then in our minds, we get some useless information on some shit that don't even matter, on somebody else's interpretation of their creation of a story, and we'll put that in like, oh, damn, maybe you do move like that. But in reality, the person you're with, you know, is like, hey, this is, you know, I'm trying to be the best that I can be over here. The hell with that. So I think people create stories, and I think that, you know, by us being in that age of duality, we have friends, and some of our friends may know certain things that maybe the person that we're with don't know. Is that cheating? No. I just think, you know, if I'm sharing if we have an emotional connection, and we ain't fucking, but we just maybe communicate at a higher level because you may know certain things about me, or we have more of an intense relationship or a longer relationship, that I feel comfortable sharing some things with that person as opposed to I'm not there yet with the person that I'm with.
So if
that makes sense, then.
Yeah.
So do you think it's cheating?
Not to me, no.
Okay. So if you're at work, okay, so I don't agree with either of you. So, and it's okay because we don't have to agree. Sure. I'm just saying, for me, if I'm in a committed relationship, if you're having an emotional relationship, and I see what you're saying, I give that a slide, that a pass, if you will, with how you put it. No, honestly, but for me, like if you go off to work in work relationships, like you know, you see it all the time. You have these men and or women who build, you know, you go to work and it's like my work husband, this is my work wife, and I'm not getting sex at home, I'm not getting this, and you start confiding in them, and then everything is about, you know, you're sharing your emotions. Then you become emotionally attached to them. Like you look forward to talking to them, you texting them, and that feeling to me is crossing a line. For me, I can only speak for me. For me, if my boyfriend or husband was crossing that line and he couldn't tell me about it, because if she's just your work friend and y'all have lunch, I don't have a problem with that. I'm not insecure on that level. So if you just want to, you know, hang out, but if you can't tell me about it, it got to be a secret, then that's a whole nother ball game. Then you're crossing some lines that I think is on the borderline of cheating. Right. Whether, you know, maybe no, you're not having sex, but it's still emotional cheating. So I go to, you know, is there a difference because you all don't agree that emotional, you know, cheating, it's not cheating. Having an emotional attachment to someone other than your partner isn't cheating. So for me, I always think, is it worse, you know, to say my woman or my man is emotionally attached to this other person than saying, oh, well, they've had sex with them. Is that is that worse? Is that better?
What do we define as? Okay, maybe that's what we might have to just step back. What is defined cheating?
Right? What do you all?
What does it say in the dictionary?
I've not looked it up, but you can pull it up and see.
I know we can pull it up. Let's
pull it up, Brandi. Let's see.
And I'm thinking for my own self. So I have a really good male friend, and we've been friends for longer than I've known my spouse. We have a really long-standing relationship and can and have talked about all types of stuff.
I don't mean that, though. I know what friend you're talking about, and it's not the same. Right. It's not the same.
Really?
That's not what I'm talking about.
Well, so then a newly developed
I'm not talking about a good guy friend. I have good guy friends that I can talk about any and everything with. That's a friendship. That's different. I'm talking about something that you can't share. You can share. He comes around your family. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about that outside person who you can't, you know, you won't introduce him to your wife, your spouse, your girlfriend, your whoever, your boyfriend, your man, whatever. I'm talking about that person, your secret friend who you're emotionally attached to. You're like, your face lights up when you see their number. When you go to work, you're like, yes, I can't wait to see it.
But LB, let me say this, right? And one of the main things is that, you know, what I've learned, and it took me 48 years and 48 years and 7 months to realize was that every time I went out in my relationships previously, prior to the one I'm in now, it was never, whenever I cheated or whatever I did, my consistent behavior for so long, it never had anything to do with the other person. So when a person uses cheating as a excuse to do, oh, well, my spouse isn't doing this, my spouse isn't doing that, that ain't got nothing to do with your spouse. That's strictly a decision that you're making. So that's some indeficiency or some deficiencies within you.
Right.
That the fact that you're saying, okay, this is something I feel as though this is either comfortable for me, this is normal for me, you know what I mean, or this is just something that I've got so uncomfortable with some unrighteous stuff that this is just who I am, and this ain't got nothing to do with the person that I'm with. This is who I am. So I'm going to cheat regardless because this is what my makeup is. This is my character. So in reality, and the crazy thing about it, you know, sometimes when folks get into situations and, you know, it's like, okay, cool, me and you, that relationship you talked about on the job, and shit is going around, you know, of course it's going to go downhill with my woman at home, you know what I mean? Because I got you.
Exactly.
And you got a bun at home, and then next thing you know, me and you done linked up. And then once we didn't already come up with this grand scheme, because most of the time I see people that's married, they like, okay, shit, we both got something to lose. So therefore we ain't gonna act too far to the left or too far to the right, or that same person that's cheating ain't gonna deal with the single dude. Because that sister ain't gonna deal with the single dude because it's more to lose. Yeah. But in reality, at the end of the day, anybody that steps outside their relationship, it ain't got nothing to do with them. That's some self shit.
Oh, I agree, Marty.
That's strictly some self
stuff. I just think people use the other person, their situation, as an excuse.
But hold on, let me go with the rest of the story. Because now, as this whole work for you, my work husband, my work wife, this thing has evolved, right? We've been doing this for years. Then we're going to come up with the idea we both want to leave our spouses, right? Then when me and you get together, now we got all these issues.
Right,
we trust. We got all these trust issues, right? Because in reality, look how we started. We didn't have no integrity when we started, so this shit ain't going to work. Right. So at the end of the day, I don't trust you now. All of a sudden, you ain't this. You ain't that. But look how we started.
Exactly.
Look how we started. People do that shit all the time.
Because as soon as you step out of that normal 9-to-5 routine life that you was doing, I'm going to think, oh, I remember you were doing that with me.
Exactly.
When you was cheating on her. Or he's going to think, I remember when you was doing that with me. When I was, when you was cheating on him. And
we trying to make it work.
We're trying to make it work. It's hard. I think, it's hard to come together after you've been cheating with that person. I mean, people do it. People do it. My grandfather, he cheated on my grandmother and he married his mistress and they lived happily ever after until, he passed away. But, sometimes, back in that era, though, those people got married for the different reasons, so they didn't always get married for love. So, when that person that he cheated on my grandmother with just happens to be the love of his life, just happened to be his soulmate. It worked out. So in those situations, it can work. However, in most cases, it doesn't work out that way. Yeah. It's not always that happily ever after ending because there are trust issues. Right. Why should I trust you? We were cheating. I mean,
creeping together.
You're creeping together. You're in the middle of the newness of it. So you're like, yes. Right. Until you get into the nitty gritty of that relationship, and you're like, shit, I don't trust him.
Right.
So maybe I think I would say it changes the dynamic once so if you all were just cool and you have an emotional connection, but there's no intent of getting together, you just need somebody to talk to in here.
Right.
But as soon as you get over that line of like, wow, I think this is somebody I could get with.
Once we start fucking, we got a problem.
Well, even before the physical thing happens, your intention now is that maybe something else can develop. And at that point, then I would be like,
that's a problem.
Or maybe preliminary cheating. I still don't know if I classify that.
What most people, let me tell you this. When I was a serial cheater, right, one of the main things for me was, a new piece is better than an old piece. You know what I'm saying? And that's all that really, but again, it's strictly, I'll take full responsibility for being the root of the cause. And then at the same time, I still wanted the relationship. I want a good relationship. I want this and I get that. So therefore, I just couldn't get off this vicious hamster wheel that I was on all the time.
Because it's always something that new.
Yeah, it's something new. But at the end of the day, why can't I treat that one that I got at home like she's new? You can put a wig on. You can put heels on.
Hey, I become whatever you want me to do.
Exactly. But it takes some of us longer to get to that. It takes some of us. And once you get to that, you really realize. Because see, what happens when the whole cheating thing comes down, people fail to realize that you give all